I met Randall in 2013. I started filming young entrepreneurs or people that were doing something pretty great and extraordinary with their lives at a young age. And I believe Randall was 24 when I met him. That means I was 23, 22. I met him and we just got along. He was like a kid, but not really. Like he was like an adult kid that knew what he was doing. In my head, I was like, he doesn't know he's going to be a millionaire, and if he does, he's very humble about it. So I interviewed him, which you're about to see, and I'm warning you now, it's just very terribly shot. I was learning. This was the first time I had used this camera. Your name, your last name, and I want you to say, my name is Randall Pich.
Randall.
Your whole name.
Pich. Randall
Your whole name.
Pich.
Ready? One more time.
I've always worked my life, like since junior year of high school. I worked at this fucking what do you call it, phone marketing company. It was called Marriage Research. It was like sitting in front of a fucking desk and just like asking people to take surveys for Bank of America. That shit sucked. But yeah, I worked since I was 16, helping my mom out with rent and shit like that.
When did you start doing business? I know you have different businesses elsewhere.
With personal training, obviously, that was like a business. Because with personal training, you kind of run your own business because you're marketing yourself. And then with that, you have a lot of free time too because you're only training like, 2-3 hours or 4 hours a day. And then with their spare time, I would just like start other businesses, like other clothing lines.
Mm-hmm. Instagram was just coming up and I saw his following, and a bigger following means a bigger impact on others. So I asked him how he felt about being a role model, or if he felt like a role model.
I don't know. I don't see myself as a role model much. Like I fuck around all the time. Like you see me and my friends, we joke around. But I don't know. Like I just do what I want pretty much.
I went on to ask him about school because in this point in my life, school was very big to me. I was personal training as well, so I was going to get my kinesiology degree, and I was going to the same school that Randall went to. So I genuinely wanted to know how he felt about school or if he had any advice, and well, this was his reaction.
Yeah, I was 6 units away from my bachelor's degree.
Which was?
Kinesiology, exercise science. But I didn't follow through with that because I felt it was a complete fucking joke. Yes, I don't give a shit if CSUOB hears this. They asked me to go speak, and I went to go speak. The kids didn't know I didn't finish. Told them at the end, they're like, what?
Now they're not gonna go drop out.
I know, I'm like, just drop out. No, like I said, dude, it's all about networking, personality, If you really want to make it, you'll make it.
Look at that.
Fucking weekend, dude.
So fancy. Orders on orders.
Yeah, it's not even done. Like close to being done.
I really like the way he was marketing his brand, Lifteth. That's what caught my attention to begin with. So I asked him about it, and he gave me this reply.
If I don't visualize it, then the marketing and stuff it's not going to be seen like my brand. You know what I mean? It's going to look different. Like I said, like the whole marketing thing, I'm super picky about it. So, like I don't know. I don't like it when other people think this design should go out like this. I'm like, nah. I'll keep it how I want it.
Now that I work for him, and I've been working for him for a very long time, I got to see the other end of that. So yes, Randall is really, extremely, super picky on everything that goes out that has his name behind it. So if he was picky back then, trust me, he's just as picky now.
Like I do with anyone you've talked to, like all my close friends, I never wanted to associate Lifteth with me. I hated, I didn't want to be the face of a company, but it kept bringing it back. So I was like, fuck it, dude, I'll just run with it, It's a business move, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, I'll just do it to get it out there like that.
But ever since I met him, that whole, I don't want to put my face, it just never worked out. He was always and is always the face of Lifteth.
You're very humble. It's surprising.
Really? Dude, I get that so much, it's crazy. I always introduce myself and I don't tell them I have a clothing line or anything like that. And then they'll find about it later and they're like, oh, you're like, yeah, I'll hook you up, come through.
I didn't have that drive at that time. I was kind of just doing my thing. That doesn't mean I was fucking up necessarily, but I wasn't running a business and personal training and doing this and that and not sleeping much. So I asked him, what gives you that drive? Like, what is it? Like, how do you do it? I mean, caffeine can only do so much.
Because like I said, I didn't grow up with anything like handed to me. So everything was like, I had to work for it, so it was just kind of like that mentality. Because I feel like I still got to work hard, because if I stop, no one's gonna do it for you. So, you know what I mean? I got to keep it moving. Like I've always messed with Photoshop, like in class and stuff. I've always, had like an eye for what looked clean, you know what I mean? Like I'm so picky with all the stuff that I can put out, You get one chance to impress a customer, you gotta make sure like you leave a really good first impression. Like this is 40 minutes ago. I think I got another one. I think I want to refresh. Yep, 20 minutes ago. Ooh, once you get like a studio or something.
Now we're in a studio. After 3 warehouses, we finally have a studio that is super legit, so.
You know what's bullshit? The fucking internet. They charge this as a fucking business internet instead of like a residence.
And yes, the internet is still fucking us over, guys.
So they just mark it up like $50 more for no reason. You know that?
As we were talking, he nonchalantly got up and started unboxing stuff and folding stuff. And he had 2 employees, so I asked, why do you like to do everything yourself? You design, you pack, you go to LA. You're obviously folding, so why are you doing everything yourself? And his response is the same as it is now.
You want to make sure it's done right?
Yeah, it's done right. It's so bad because sometimes I would, not get mad, but want him to do it my way, even though the end result's the same. I'm like, Well, I'm learning.
Do you have anyone that's partnered with you with Lifteth, or it's just you?
Nope, just me. Learned that a long time ago.
So he asked if I'd like to go run errands with him. It was already like 12, so we went all the way to LA. And what I thought one errand. No, this guy fucking took me everywhere. He took me to LA, he took me to like some printing place, he took me everywhere. And I was just so in awe that he did this almost every day. I would never have the energy to do this every day. Like, there's no way. So, that was the first time I got to see him really work and do everything himself, with this crappy little car that we had that I swear I thought we were gonna die. Just another day.
Just another day. Like I know how to run my business. I know how to do this. And obviously things don't go the way you want it sometimes, but you gotta just learn how to deal with it because there's nothing you can do. Like once one thing's messed up, you just kind of like make a phone call, fix it, and then that's it. Don't stress on it. I learned that from my old business partner, Bruce. It's cool too. Like all my employees and stuff we're like friends too. So we kind of we just hang out, we just joke around.
I asked him like, how do you keep everything balanced? How do you keep your relationship, your friendships, your business friendship stuff? Like, how do you just keep it all together? And his response was pretty good. And as you can hear barely in the last sentence, he says, because one day you're going to be buying a house. And as of now, 3 years later, 4 years later, whatever, he is now buying a house. So I guess that model kind of works, huh?
They got to understand, it's like you're trying to do your life. Make ends meet. And if it's working, you gotta go with it. You can't just stop because your friend wants to fucking hang out or something. It may upset him, but you gotta look at the long run. Once later you got a house and all this stuff, you guys can party later.
Which is true. And you're so young. That's what trips me out, is that you're so young.
I know. Yeah, it's crazy. People tell me that all the time. I feel like I'm old. Like an old man.
I didn't even get to finish filming what I wanted to film. So I would continuously text him and ask him if he was free, and he was always busy. And then a couple months after I met him, he posted an Instagram post asking for a personal assistant. And I emailed him and I told him, well, if you don't get back to me, I'm just gonna keep bugging you. I'm gonna keep bothering you until you do get back to me. He texted me in the morning. He said if I could come work with him. I flaked on all my clients. I'm so sorry if you're watching this. And I went and I worked for him for that whole day. Within a couple months, we moved into our next warehouse, which was right across from the first warehouse where I met him. Yeah, that one, we outgrew that one in like 6 months. We were so condensed in there that the boxes were on the floor.
When Randall hit me up, he's like, hey, come work for me. I was like, all right, so then I fucking quit. December 2013, and I started working for Lifteth the next day in 2014. At this time, it was me, Chu, Randall, and then Danny and Tyson, so 5. Oh yeah, and Stacy and you.
So yeah, in January, we went on our first trip as a team. This is Randall and and we went to San Jose and we shot for a couple days, and our rooming situation wasn't the best. We were sharing a room and a bed or two. It was the first time I was on a plane, and it was to go shoot content, so it was pretty awesome to me. And yes, as you can see, Randall was still hands-on. He was still taking the pictures himself. He was still editing.
So right when I got hired, we had to do a fucking expo like a month later, and this is our first expo. We don't know what the fuck we're doing, you know, so we just bought a bunch of tables, some banners, and a bunch of inventory. So the first day we did so good, we sold out. First year, oh my god. We carried every fucking box in ourselves.
But yeah, Randall and Mike and Chu and I carried everything to the freaking booth. The booth was like this small.
We had a fucking 10 by 10 tent. 10 by 10, that shit is like a swap meet. Oh yeah, that year we got one whole box stolen.
And I remember Randall was trying to bounce around from being behind the register and in front of the register, and then taking pictures on the side.
We didn't have enough room in the booth, so he kind of just stood outside sometimes to, like, when people came by to take pictures with him.
And then a rooming situation. Oh my God, everyone was in one room. Everybody and their mother was in one room. But you compare that to what we did this year, 2016, and we had an executive suite for all the employees. We flew in all our ambassadors from overseas, which, you know, that's not the cheapest thing in the world. So we outgrew that warehouse, but before we outgrew the second warehouse, we threw our first warehouse sale, and we invited 50 people, and plus one.
We had a line waiting outside in the parking lot.
Where you guys from?
We're from Santa Ana. Yeah.
Where'd you guys come from? What about you guys? What about you guys? What about you guys? Down the street. That's very convenient.
That warehouse was kind of small, so it was just a bunch of people inside the warehouse, our tiny warehouse. And I was the cashier there, so I had a long ass line, and we were only taking cash, you know, like.
Yeah, we moved into our third warehouse, and we went from 4 to 14, which included Miguel. And at that time, Miguel was using a ping pong table as a studio. So, surprise, guys, he had a desk / studio / ping pong table.
At the old warehouse, it was really, really small, and there wasn't enough desks for everyone to work at. You know, it's either you're working on this wooden platform that Randall had built out. There's like 4 desks there. And at one point I was actually using an extension of a desk as my desk. It was so fucking tiny. One day I walked in and I'm like, fuck this, you know, I saw a ping pong table in the corner of the warehouse, and I went ahead and laid it like halfway down. So half of the table was up, half of it was down, and that became my office / studio / whatever the fuck else it was. I quickly figured out that Randall is a very, very picky person. Like anything, if it's not shot right, he'll tell you straight up to your face, like, hey, no, I need it like this. And a lot of people, they can take that the wrong way, but I take it as like, all right, you know, I have my style, but I need to adapt to him because this is his vision for it.
I came in the part where we were in the second warehouse. There was boxes all over the warehouse, and I remember Randall being like, hey, we need a bigger warehouse. And I remember in the beginning, me alongside with other employees, Mike was one of them, we were in the middle of the warehouse just with a desk, and it was pretty crazy, all the inventory around us. And at the time I was doing customer service with Mike.
So Black Friday of 2014 was really crazy because we weren't expecting to have that type of reaction to the Black Friday sale that we had.
I was packing along with everyone else. Randall himself too. He took probably like, I want to say like 200 orders he did himself.
The crazy part was watching Randall do everything too. Design, pack, stress out with us. He was still packing. He was still packing.
So like if your rims have paint on it now.
The billboard was something pretty crazy.
So Stacy and I made a trip down there to document, you know, seeing it for the first time. And it was just really surreal, like a really surreal moment to see that logo up there. It's the first time that we ever did anything big like that as far as advertising. And it was dope because people would stand in front of it, take pictures and stuff, and, you know, tag Lifteth. And yeah, I can't believe that actually happened. We still have that billboard actually. It's tucked away somewhere, but hopefully one day we'll put it up again.
So we actually got to celebrate Randall's 27th birthday together. I mean, the whole team for LA Fit Expo. Nobody knew it was his birthday, and then all of a sudden here comes this cake, and everyone looks at each other, and we're like, wow, we're such assholes. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Totally forgot Randall's birthday, but he wanted to keep it that way because he wanted to make sure that we were paying attention to the expo and not worrying about his birthday.
We're running our operations out of 2 warehouses, so we split it up. That second warehouse we had, it was full too, so we're like, oh shit.
Is this the furthest one we're looking, or all of them that we're looking at in Irvine?
He said he's gonna do the best route. That makes sense for us.
Okay.
So we'll probably... I guess there was a stigma, because, you know, we're a bunch of like young dudes, you know, like Randall's all tatted up. These realtors or whatever, the people that helped us find spots, we would just talk to them through email first, and then phone calls, and then when we meet up to see buildings, you know, they're like, you know, a bunch of young assholes and shit. They had a negative image of us.
Now we're in this huge warehouse, 32,000 square feet. We have all the space that we need. With Randall, he takes a lot of pride in you know, being able to build something, whether it's this studio or just anything in general, like the clothes, designs, everything. We could have hired people to do this, but we take a lot of pride in the work that we did. I think within the first week of us moving here, me and Randall spent every day just working on painting the walls, laying down the wood floors, you know, getting the furniture to fill the place up. And even to this day, we're not done just because of how busy we are, but eventually it'll get there.
This is only 3 hours.
Last year, 2015, our Black Friday campaign was on point. Everything was so unified with one another. Our team worked really, really hard. And guess what? Guess who had a really big part in that? Yeah, Randall did. Randall, because, you know, he's hands-on on everything. He designed the apparel. He kind of gave us the idea for the campaign that he wanted to do. So that means he was in front of the camera, he was behind the camera, he was behind the computer designing. And then once all the millions of thousands of orders came in, he was downstairs helping everybody pack.
You'll see him down at the warehouse packing, getting done, sometimes till like 11, sometimes he wouldn't even eat until later at night. We'll go get Jack in the Box from McDonald's.
Ready to meet all my peeps, ready to meet all the Lifteth supporters. This is why we do it. So
we did LA, Ohio, Dallas, and Vegas, so it was only 4 of them.
Every expo, there was a line. Every meet and greet, there was a line. And then our warehouse sale, I mean, it was insane. We had 1,000 people come, and I mean, to go from 100 to 1,000, it was really overwhelming. But you know, there was an incident where one of the cops came up, and we're like, oh my God, we're gonna get like arrested. No, they wanted to shop. Randall Pich, after seeing that video, you're the same guy that guy was.
I am different and I am the same at the same time.
like my little kid self, I'm still that way. I always fuck around because within those 3 years, I feel I've grown and got to like travel the world and see new faces, new people, new cultures, growing as a business person, just being wise about things, communication, decisions, human behavior, the market and stuff like that. I feel like I have a good grasp of how things work now. But yeah, I feel like I'm pretty much the same dude.
Your team, like the team that you talked about in your last videos that have stuck with you, is this why you handpicked them? Because you knew that they would be with you through thick and thin?
Yeah, you're right. I handpicked every single person, and it's not just like a decision I made overnight. Everyone's like, you know, working together and going at a good pace. So, you know, I handpicked those guys, and everyone now, they're trained themselves and work together as a team in each department now. We're not just talking about media, we're talking about customer service, warehouse, wholesale, whatever department is. You know, everyone's got like a cool little culture going on, and we're able to meet all together and just function. And you know, like with the holidays coming up, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, you know, you best believe it, dude. All these guys up here, we're gonna head down there and we're gonna help the warehouse team and pack. And it's good, you know, it gives that family culture down there too as well, you know, because over here at Lifteth, it's like, you know, I don't care if you're a photographer or a warehouse dude, everyone's gonna be treated the same. Everyone wants to feel like a part of this family, so.
Touch a little bit about expos. Do you ever think you would travel the world with Lifteth and bring your team with you?
Fuck, we did, what, 15 expos? Let me put this first. I didn't even have a fucking passport prior to this. I never left the United States ever. Yeah, the prior year we went to like 4 or 5 expos, and this year I was like, you know what, we're doing a fucking tour, I don't care. So we hit about 15 expos, and the purpose of that was not to, people ask me, oh, was it there to get your face out there? No, it's not that. It's to actually go out there and shake the fucking hands of the people that have been supporting us, because we're getting fucking people from all over the world, you know, ordering our shit, commenting on our stuff, you know, hitting us up on social media. And it was honestly just for them, just to go out there and fucking shake these people's hands, you know, because in their eyes, they're like, fuck, these guys are in America. I may not ever fucking meet these people, you know, but if I have the means and funds to, fucking, I'm taking my whole squad and we're meeting everybody, you know. The more you travel, the more wise you are, the more wise you become. Like, more things that you can use as life lessons, if that makes sense. Just meeting other human beings, you know, with different upbringings, and yeah, the American culture is very isolated. So I feel if I could give advice to people that are living in here, go travel the world, go see people in Australia, go see Europe where they actually have real history, go to Asia where they have real history, you know, and see how these people live and how their society is functioning and stuff. So.
It's been 4 years and you have 4 businesses.
Yeah, I mean, I've always stayed like driven, you know. So like, don't get me wrong, Lifteth is, I put 110% till to this day for Lifteth apparel. But with, you know, the amazing team that I have, I can actually step back a little bit and take a break and find something that motivates me and, you know, drives me again. Recently, I just started my own website and released a bunch of canvases with my quotes on them, and those sold like hotcakes, you know. So that was just like another venture I'm getting into. But prior to that too, I have Top Threads, I have Cloud 10. I'm getting into you know, a bunch of other companies too as well that I can't speak on camera. But like I said, Top Threads is doing great now. You know, we have like the system in place about a year now, but we've just fully pushed it for about 2 months now, and it's already doing as good as Lifteth did in the first year. And don't get me wrong, Lifteth, its first year did a fucking shitload. But yeah, Top Threads is already going. Cloud 10 is taking off. I'm about to partner up with somebody on that too. I have a watch company that's gonna be launching in 2017. So be on the lookout for that. I'm already gonna be launching a pomade company too, so be on the lookout for that. And these are things that I know personally, that I know the business and logistics of, because I've got the opportunities to invest into restaurants, to own, go in on restaurants and invest in other things. But me as a person, if I don't know that type of business, I don't feel like I need to be in that type of business. It's none of my business. You know, as an entrepreneur, you're always going a million miles an hour or so, you know. But with all that said too, you know, I I hear a lot of people, hey, dude, you need to focus on Lifteth. Don't get me wrong, I'm still thinking about Lifteth like all the time and making sure that's running 110%, because if that's not running, I can't do none of this shit. And I have that mutual understanding, so.
So now I have to ask, are you still hands-on? Are you still hands-on?
Fucking 100% hands-on. I'll go down there, help the warehouse guys do the wholesale stuff. It's just, I'm still hands-on designing. I'm designing next to our head designers, videography, all that stuff. I'm sitting next to Stacy, helping her edit, Miguel, watching him edit and make sure things are going the way that it should be going. And I think Miguel said in the video, he made a good point that these guys, don't get me wrong, they're fucking excellent at what they're doing, but it's the Lifteth way that we need to focus on and stay branded too. So that's where I come in and make sure everyone still has that same style, that same inspiration and things to keep the Lifteth brand branded and the way it's supposed to look from day one. So, and I see a lot of brands just keep going in crazy directions and they fucking verge off from what actually made them bread and butter. So, yeah.
How do you stay so damn driven? You're going everywhere.
I feel like it's in my fucking DNA. Like I can sit still, but my brain won't fucking sit still. You know, I might be focusing on one thing, or it may look like I focus on one thing, but I'm like thinking about the next move, or if I have a task to do, I'll do it. And if I take a break, I'm thinking about how to do it better, how to efficiently do it, and just how to grow it and stuff, you know? And that's just something I've always done since I was a little kid, you know? It's just, it's crazy. Everything I do, I want to outdo it. I want to fucking do it better than everybody else. You know, I want to be on top. It's just an attitude. It might be like a weird, shitty attitude, but that's just how my brain works, you know? I want to be at the fucking top. Why not fucking me? So, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just fucking driven all the time.
So I have to ask, do you see yourself as a role model now?
Fuck, dude, that shit's crazy. I mean, fuck, it's, I don't know, like, I guess you could say I am, because I want to show people today, especially young other entrepreneurs and business owners, that it's possible to fucking do what I did, you know? And you don't have to take the traditional route. You know, I feel like I'm repeating myself a lot because I say this in my videos and my prior interviews and shit, but like I truthfully believe that, you know, anyone can fucking do this shit. So as far as me being a role model, whatever, you can call that whatever the fuck you want, but I think my other duty in today's society is to fucking let people know that, you know, this shit's possible. You don't have to fucking go to school to, you know, become successful. I see a lot of young entrepreneurs or young kids in general get fed the wrong information growing up, and it sucks, you know. And I understand why the government does that, you know, because if everyone knew the secret, then everyone would be successful, right? So, you know, I think it's my duty to just do my part and let everyone see that it's possible. And if you call that a role model, then great. So, by the way, all this stuff is done. I haven't fucking pre-read any shit. This is all on fucking blast. He's just fucking asking me questions, so.
Humble, because you're still this humble dude.
I didn't grow up with shit, you know. I was telling him the fucking story where I was fucking on welfare, dude. Like I had dollar bills and I had fucking food stamp bills. Yeah, there wasn't fucking EBT cards when I was a little kid. You know, I would run around, mom would be like, hey, go buy candy with this, but whatever else you need, here's fucking the green money. So like, you know, I never forget that shit, you know, that's like my childhood, you know, and I didn't know anything else. So everything that I have now, it's just an extra fucking icing on the cake. You know, I see my pops regularly, I see my mom regularly, and they keep me grounded, and just, you know, everyone in here is super fucking humble too. So it's like, we just don't deal with any other attitude because that shit doesn't fucking vibe with us, so.
In the last thing you say when I'm talking to you, you say, you know, there's no time to fuck around because one day you're gonna be buying a house and then you can fuck around. So
yeah, so I just bought a fucking house. It's not gonna be my only house, believe that. But this is like the beginning of something that I've worked so hard for, you know. This is one thing that we're right about, you know, when you are young, what you wanna do is grow up and buy a house, you know, but they don't fucking tell you how hard it is, going through escrow, going through loan officers, you know, getting your mortgage and shit like that. You have to learn all that shit, you know? Fucking school should teach you that shit, but I don't know why they don't. All the shit that I've worked hard for was for this, you know, and I've seen so many people just go with the trend and whatever the fuck they're doing, they're not focused, you know? And let me tell you right now too, like, for me buying this house, like, dude, it's fucking nuts, because I know how fucking hard it is, and this is the house I want, but I want more too. And for me to be able to do this and then look at the general population, I'm not putting anybody down, but I'm just stating the facts that I see around me, you know? Like, it's almost fucking impossible for a graduate student nowadays to go out and live the American dream. You want to call it buy a fucking house and raise a family? There's no way. Even if you make like 100K, especially here in Southern California, you have to like really make it, you know, to do that shit, you know? And I understood that so far back when I was a fucking kid, you know? I was like, dude, I'm looking around. There's fucking nurses that have roommates. There's fucking people that have like these professional jobs, but they're living in an apartment and shit, you know? And I always kept it in my head. I was like, fuck, dude, I don't want to live like that, dude. There's just no way. So, you know, as I was growing up, I met other business owners, and these were the guys that were fucking just living the dream, you know, and making ends meet. So like early on, I saw it that way. So like I fucking worked hard for 3-4 years, and here I am with a house, you know. And it's like, I want to let you guys know that it's not fucking easy to get that shit, dude. And like real estate is another level.
Last little piece of word of advice before.
Fucking question everything. Don't believe everything firsthand. Keep your options open. If you find something that you really like, do it. Do something that you're good at, and then find passion in it later. Go in it with a great attitude, because if you have a negative attitude, you're gonna fucking suck at what you do. You're gonna fucking hate your job. It's just like when you wake up, you have to like just decide like, okay, I'm gonna fucking have a good day. If I could give advice to people that are living in here, go travel the world, go see people in Australia, go see Europe where they actually have real history, go to Asia where they have real history, you know, and see how these people live and how their society is functioning and stuff. So don't be so closed-minded. Don't be afraid to say, I don't know sometimes. This is just off fucking random shit. You know, I've seen nowadays like people are just being really too opinionated. Like, I don't have a problem saying I don't know if I don't know shit. It's not a bad thing, you know, you just don't know. Don't throw opinions that you don't know out there. Assumptions, don't ever assume. That's my big thing too. And just communication, like I said, and go experience, you know, if you're young, if you're like fucking 18 or 23, 22, go fuck off, go fucking learn a bunch of shit, learn as much as you can until you really need to start paying the fucking bills. I actually started paying bills when I was fucking 16, so I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh man, I don't know, I'm about to go fucking start another business after this shit.